Whoa, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm gonna show you guys the beginning steps of using Lightroom Classic. So you're gonna need Lightroom Classic for this, and also have the stock photo in the description below if you want to follow along. And it's gonna be a short one today, but this is your bread and butter of what you need to start editing your photos. So let's go. Talking about a few of these sliders right here on the right, and kind of showing you how moving them left and right can greatly affect your different your photo. So so once you load everything up and you put you import your files to Lightroom, you got your presets on your left. We're gonna talk about that in a later video, but so you can control your temperature and your tint. We're just gonna leave these two alone. I think as a beginner you really don't want to mess with that until you kind of learn these basic things. The tone first, your tone section. So you see a picture here. It's a picture of an apple pie crumble. So the picture here is a pretty well lit shot, but let's say we want to play around with it. So the exposure, as you guys know, affects how much light is being in on the picture. So if you bring it to the left, it makes it real darker. Maybe you bring it to the right, it makes it too bright. So with that being said, you kind of want to find it. And really, all of these things are going to depend on what you're using the photo for. Sometimes people want pictures for their website, so they may need more brighter shots to kind of clearly show maybe the product or whatever you're doing. If you're trying to make a dramatic shot for Instagram, you can always, darker is always better in my opinion. But so yeah, so your left is always gonna be less, and the right is always gonna be more. So, and then right here you see exposure. So we're gonna expose his left, it's less light coming in, and then to the right, more light coming in. So always remember that left is less, more is to the right. So leave it right there, and then bring the contrast up if you want something a little more dramatic. But I just kind of play around with it however you want to. So see like that. So I'm see that back there. We're gonna take the highlights. I'm taking photos of people. I normally bring the highlights down, or mostly all the way down, to kind of, it's that light ambience in the back, and sometimes it can get blown out, especially if you're shooting outside. So I was gonna bring the highlights down to kind of even the photo out. And then the shadows, like I said, all depends on what you're using the photo for. You can lift the shadows. If you lift it too much, it kind of makes it not like dry, but it kind of shows everything. It shows all the details. In case you may have missed something in the shot, it's going to show everything. So bring the shadows down, but like I said, you just play with it to your liking. Bring it down just a little bit. Bring the exposure up just a little bit, and then so your whites are going to be mainly. You may have a photo where you are. It's too bright in one section, or the whites are just blown out, and you may want to, instead of making the whole photo darker, you may just want to tone down the white some. This is perfect what this section is for. So you bring the whites down in the photo, as you can see, like the plate and the backlight. If I bring it over down, kind of dulls it out a little bit. And to the right, you see how it's overexposed, it's too much. Yeah. So the same thing with the blacks. So sometimes it may be too dark in the spot, but you want to brighten it up. But without making the whole picture bright, you can just touch the blacks. So, like that. See how it's very dark, and this kind of looks like it's a faded, which sometimes it works on some portraits. Right now we doing a picture of some food. So, I'm gonna just leave the blacks alone because that's actually not bad. And then that's pretty much it. So right here, the tone, you just gotta play around with it. Honestly, I know it's more simpler said than done, but that's the main key. That's gonna be the main portion of your photo. Once when you take it in Lightroom, and sometimes you shot underexposed, meaning it's darker than it's actually supposed to be, which is okay because you can save some of the highlights so it's not blown out. When you bring the color back, you save some of those colors, and this is it. This is the bread and butter right here, the tone. Sometimes you click auto so you import the picture inside, So you can kind of see kind of like what Lightroom gives you, like a balanced picture of what your shot supposed to be, so you can kind of gauge it off that if you like. And then I'm also gonna talk about, you can really like leave these alone unless you try to get crazy, because like the texture, you can bring it up and you can see it shows like the texture of the food. You bring it down, it shows like kind of hazy drink. So if you're trying to put this on like, I don't know, food promo or whatever like that, I would probably bring texture up on like some food to kind of just bring it, you know, stand out more in the picture, make it really pop. Clarity takes away the color, but it brings more defined, dramatic shot. So I'm just gonna leave that alone this time. Dehaze, if you have a photo, especially for like your clouds or whatever like that, and it's maybe too bright or too dark, you can dehaze certain sections, and you see kind of just removes all that fogginess, that haziness. Vibrance, I always leave that alone, me personally. But like I say, play around with it, you know, because if you bring it too high up, look at it, it just looks like a weird old 19 something photo. I would just leave that alone. I'll bring it down as black and white. So play with it and go with it. And then all this other stuff, we can get into that on a later video. But just starting out, like when you say, hey, I got Lightroom Classic, you know, I'm not really sure what to do. I got this photo, I kind of want to edit it, make it look a little more professional. So common tip, if you're using Mac, you can hit Y and it shows you your before and your after. So right here, it's not major difference. I kind of just tone out at a spot back here at the fork where it's kind of blown out a little bit. It kind of made it a little more defined. Hit Y, and then you can hit F on the Mac and it brings it up full screen, as you can see, like that. And you can really see all the details in this delicious apple pie crumble. But yeah, so that's pretty much the basics. First thing, moving to Lightroom, we're gonna be doing a lot more of these Lightroom videos and talks and tutorials about how to go about, you know, editing certain photos. But then again, there's no right way of doing it, you know. Of course, you don't. If somebody says I need a photo, you don't want to do this, you know. If they're expecting you to have a picture of the product, and you do this, is just like, wait, come on, guys. We all know the difference. Or you definitely don't want to do this where it's too bright. So, no right or wrong, but you know what's wrong. That's gonna be the basis of it. And then, you know, after you pretty much got it the way you really, really want it, you can just go library and then hit export. And then once you export it, save to the file where you want to file, save it, and then there you go, you have it. So that's pretty much gonna be it. That's your bread and butter right here in this section right here. You want to keep the highlights low. Most always want to keep the highlights low. Contrast is based off. I find to bump it up too much, it starts to make people look orange too much. So just be careful with that. And you always want to make sure your whites and your blacks are opposite from each other. So what that means is, if we got the whites here and then we got the blacks here, you see what happened? But see, if we have the blacks here and the whites low, it's not that bad. Or if we have the whites here, the blacks here, it's not that bad. It's two different shots, but you know, you want those two separate. You want your whites and your blacks separate. So I'm bringing the whites back down, and then yeah, just play around with the sliders and base it to what you really, really like. But that's gonna be the basis of that. Alright, guys, so that's gonna be it for this one. If you like these kind of videos, leave a comment down below. We're going into more details, new different tricks and tips you can use using Lightroom. But thanks guys for watching this far, and don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one. And I'll see you in the next one.